Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Antonelli here. Answering your questions today. Today's question was on interviews, major league interviews. Were they nerve-wracking? Did anything funny ever happen? Basically, just talking all about interviews. I actually just made this video for you guys about 10 minutes ago, but when I went to throw it up online, I realized that the camera was not in focus. So, doing it all over again. Hopefully, I don't forget anything I just said. Um, so, interviews. Um, I have one particular interview that comes to mind when I think about my career and giving interviews. I'm going to save that for a minute. First, I'm going to talk about some of the interviews that I did, basically coming up through the draft and in the minor leagues. Didn't give a ton of interviews in the major leagues, unfortunately. Only gave a few, but really, I think the most interviews I did was when I was kind of drafted. I was a high pick for the Padres, so I know we talked about this in the last video, but basically when you get drafted, I got flown out to San Diego and went through a bunch of different media things. Had to go on the radio during a game, had to go on a television broadcast during the game, had to do pregame stuff, throughout a first pitch. And so I was able to kind of get thrown in right away. And I was like 21, I think I just turned 21 when I got drafted. So, I'd done some interviews and stuff in college and in high school, but nothing to this degree where you're actually going on TV and lots of people are watching you. And so it's definitely a little bit different. But for some reason, I just always felt somewhat comfortable doing it. It felt similar to what I feel like right now, talking into my phone with nobody watching. So I just kind of was myself and just talked and basically just hoped I didn't say anything stupid, which I don't think I ever really did. Um, you know, Thinking about those interviews during that time when I was drafted, the only one that I remember saying something where like a lot of people on like Twitter and social media and stuff were giving me a lot of crap was when the Patriots were playing the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. Can't remember what year that was. Um, Had to have been right around the time that I was drafted, maybe a little bit after that, maybe. Um, but anyways, I was a huge Patriots fan. I am a huge Patriots fan. Patriots are like my team, and they were playing the Chargers. I was out in San Diego working out in the off season, and we'd a bunch of us would work out every day at Petco, and I think I don't know why, but they knew I was a Patriots fan. It was a huge game, obviously. So after a workout, they interviewed me and asked me about who was going to win the game, and I said the Patriots were going to kill them. And I talked about how I love Tom Brady, and a lot of people got upset that they started talking crap to me like, why are you coming on our TV and telling us the Patriots are going to win? You're a Padres player, blah blah blah. Looking back, I should have just pretended I was a Chargers fan, but I mean, I think I was such a huge Pats fan, and it was I just basically got drafted. I didn't really know how or what I should say, and so I just told the truth that I was a huge Pats fan, and I hoped they'd beat the Chargers by 150 points. Anyways, the story that I really remember as far as interviews go is when I got to the major leagues. Um, playing the Colorado Rockies. It's about 2 weeks into my career, maybe a little less. That was the night I hit my first home run, and so I have a good game. I think I went like 3 for 4, 3 for 5. Had a couple hits, hit a home run. We ended up winning by pretty good score. We played a good game that night, and so the game ends, and we go through the line and we give high fives to everybody, and about to leave the field, and they come and grab me and say, "Hey, the television broadcast wants to do an interview with you." I said, "Okay." So, I put my glove, my bat, and everything in the dugout, and I went on the field and did my interview for about 10 minutes. And when I finished, I went back to the dugout to grab my stuff, and my stuff was gone. So I just figured, typically what happens is the clubhouse guy, clubhouse attendant, or the bat boy or somebody will grab your stuff and they'll bring it up and they'll toss it in your locker. And so I went up to the clubhouse and I went to my locker, and my bat was in there, my glove or my helmet was in there, but my glove wasn't in there. And, if you guys that are baseball players out there and girls, you probably know that, a glove is something, it's not like a bat where you can just, you've got 10 different bats, just grab a different bat, or your helmet, or who cares. But your glove is something that it's basically like your hand. If you don't have your hand, you have someone else's, you'll know, right? And so, I was someone that used the same glove year after year after year after year, and never used practice gloves. I just used my game glove every day. I loved it, and I wanted to use it until I was 105 years old. And so it was gone. So I run into the clubhouse attendant's office, and I was like, "Hey, you happen to grab my glove? I was down on the field, and I did an interview. I put my glove in the dugout, and when I came back after the interview, the glove was gone. And he was like, oh, no, somebody grabbed it for you, man. One of the clubhouse guys grabbed it for you, I'm sure. They probably threw it in your locker. And I was like, all right. I'm like, I looked in my locker, and it's not there. And he was like, oh, it'll turn up tomorrow. I'm sure they got it. They probably just tossed it somewhere. So I was like, okay. So I went home, went to the hotel, came back the next day. I don't think I slept at all because I was worried about my glove. And I came back the next day, and it was not in my locker. So I went back into the clubhouse attendant's office, and I was like, "Hey, man, my glove's still not in my locker. Like, did it turn up? Did you know have any idea where it went or anything?" And he's like, "No, I have no clue, man." He's like, "Have you checked with the other guys, the other clubhouse guys?" I was like, "Yeah, I've checked with everybody." He's like, "Oh man, I don't know." He's like, "Well, we'll look for it. It'll turn up one of these days, I'm sure." And it never turned up. And so that night, I had a game of 7, and I had to play. I was starting at second base that night, and I had to play with like my other glove, which was like trying to catch with a skillet. Basically, it just wasn't broken in. I never broke in my backup gloves. You just never think you're gonna lose your glove, right? And so, I'm out there playing that night with this glove, and the whole game, I'm like, just like, ugh, looking at it like I hate you, glove, and I'm missing my real glove so badly, and I can like remember in plays like I remember guy hits a ground ball to third base. Who's that third baseman back then? Kevin Kuzmanov was our third baseman, and so I'm running the cover second to turn a double play, and I can remember like getting the second base and thinking as I'm running there, like, oh my God, I gotta turn a double play with this glove on my hand. I hate this glove. He throws it to me, and somehow, luckily, I got it, and I turned a double play, and I think we got him out. I didn't drop the ball, at least. But for that whole night, like, every ball that was hit to me, and, like, in between plays, I could not stop thinking about this glove and how much I hated it. But I made the rest of my plays that night, and I think, I ended up having to finish the season with that glove. And I actually I don't think I missed the ball with it. So looking back now, I guess I shouldn't have been so worried about it. But I was petrified every game the rest of the season about that glove and having to use that thing. And my other glove never turned up. Disappeared forever. Don't know who has it. Just like my home run ball. So in Colorado, I lost my home run ball. Never got it back from the Padres. I lost my glove. So luckily, I never went back and played there again. But so if you have my glove or know where it is, I will send you my address. You can send it to me. So that's really for interviews. That's the one that sticks out the most because of my lost glove. So thanks again for sending your questions. If you have any more questions, please put them in the comment section below. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Check out our Instagram page, Antonelli Baseball, and our Twitter feed, Man9. We're posting videos for you guys all the time. Check out the description box below where I put a bunch of links to books and training tools we use with our players. Check out our website, AntonelliBaseball.com, to find out how to work with myself or our teams. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you later.